Okay, my name is Lamar Bennett. I am back again, the radical sociologist, and I'm doing the journal part two. Excuse me, the journey part two. And my topics I'm going to speak on today is going to be about crime in our society, which I will cover Black Lives Matters, the true meaning of this concept from a thug perspective. I will talk about gun violence from a thug perspective, the effect on the communities from a thug perspective, the black woman from a thug perspective. For this black woman, I will talk about thugging and gold digging and having children and the financial burden of the black woman from a thug perspective. Then I will conclude from a thug perspective that what I mean by it takes another thug to catch another thug in order to stop the violence in our cities. The president on down from government to the police departments, they are not street equipped to deal with this surge in community violence. They not there. Only people there is another thug. And I will elaborate when I get to my conclusion. But let me say this. Some people don't know what the meaning of sociologist. What is a sociologist? I'm gonna give you the definition of a sociologist. He's an expert in or student of the development, structure, and functioning of human society. I'm gonna give you the definition of sociologist again. He's an expert in our studies of the development, structure, and functioning of human society. Now, let me get into our first crime in our society, which is at all-time high. And it's sad to hear innocent people losing their lives foolishly because thugs are running rampantly. Let me say something about me. Okay. I am a felon. And I'm not proud of it, but I have to live with it for the mistakes that I made. Because I was living a thug life. I've lived a thug life ever since high school. I say I was 7 years old, following behind my father. And so, since I say a thug perspective due to the fact that I grew up and I became a thug at a very early age. Well, you said you went out to gang bang, shot this. No, I didn't go to that extent, but could have anytime. Because when you in the thug life, you have to be down with the thug life. You have to do what the other thugs do. You can't just sit back, watch them do all the crime, and then you gonna just laugh at them. You have to be a part of it too, you know. And keep that in mind, that if you're in the thug life, you in the life. You ain't gonna let me walk up and rob somebody and you gonna look at me. Ain't no such thing as saying, well, I didn't know that person was gonna do that. When you with a thug, you're gonna be thug. You know what I'm saying? Like birds flock together, right? So, and by saying that, crime in our society is at all-time high. Thug to a thug. It's ridiculous the way thugs are being today. They don't have no heart, no sympathy for innocent people. And you look in the black community, people marching Black Lives Matters, but still yet at night come out and shoot their own brother. Then you have to ask yourself, how did that Black Life matter when you just shot the guy, the woman, just because of an argument, just because he stepped on my toes? And from a thug perspective, when I was really out there, Black lives didn't matter. Money and dope was the only thing that mattered. And one thing about the media, thugs ain't listen to the media. Everything you say is happening at 10 a.m., thugs are asleep. To get to the thug, to get to the drug addict, you got to be in the drug house. You got to get there at 3 a.m. in the morning and talk to him. 6, 10, 11 o'clock at night, all that morning crying, talking about what the thug did, which was part of me one at some parts, but you wasting your time. To get to the thug and to communicate with him, you have to be a thug yourself. And what you gonna say something in the morning for? They sleep by then. They ain't listen to a thing you said. They don't even know what happened, and they wouldn't even care what happened. But I'm just saying, if you're trying to reach out to thugs and the violence in our community, it's at night. It's at night, not during the day. You're not reaching nobody during the day. Thugs come out at night. Mostly. Everything is planned at night. If it happens during the day, it's planned during the night. So if you want to reach out to a thug 10 o'clock in the morning, you wasting your time. Ain't nobody listening. Gun violence from a thug perspective, which I shot my gun plenty of times, it didn't matter. I was only concerned about me, my drug, and whoever got in the way got in the way. And to stop, what slowed me down was to talk to me. I didn't know nothing was wrong. When you saw wrongness as a little boy, if you ever seen Menace to Society, that movie Menace to Society, you see your father do everything wrong, And what you look at them, you say, that's right, that's what to do, that's what to do. My daddy did it. You know what I'm saying? So you gonna grow up with that mentality. Hey, shoot your gun. Hey, do this. Hey, my father walked around with his old antique German gun. You know, my mother, you know, fit to shoot somebody. I had to step in front of her to keep her from shooting somebody. And I'm 11 years old. So, you know, so thug was destiny for me. Because what I saw, what they did was right. So, hey, why not me? You know, I want to do it better. You know, I want to do it better than my father. I want to do it better than my mother. That's why gun violence is so high today, because these kids see their parents. And I wish, from a thug perspective, to prevent these thugs from growing up as little kids, like they did to the guy in Michigan who shot all those people at the school, go at the parents. Go at the parents. Because if you stop the parents, you would stop them. They would want to see their mama locked up. They would want to see their daddy locked up. And some of this gun violence will go away. Hey, I know that would have hurted me while I was doing it. When I was out there fucking up, doing all kind of shit that I can do, didn't give a fuck about nothing but getting high and fucking the first woman I could see. If they would have said to me, they're gonna lock my mother up, lock my daddy up, would have stopped me in my tracks. Some of this gun violence, these thugs, these young thugs out here doing this violence, hey, take it from me. That would hurt me. Would have hurted me if they would attack my parents, my mother, my grandmother, the person that I cherished, the person on this whole world that I would cherish. I don't want to see nothing happen. Put that you would have put that threat on me. I've been sitting there like a good buddy. But see, I was very smart with my thugging. I wasn't no dumb thug. You know what I'm saying? I know how to hide it. And how you hide it, like white collar crime hides it. By a suit and tie, trying to be educated. But anyway, gun violence from a thug perspective, as myself back in the day, it didn't matter. News, you laugh at the news if you hear the news. You know, like I said, the only thing would stop me is who raised me, who put me with a gun, who gave me all these images of violence, of going to orgies and doing everything sexually backwards. You know, that person, my mentor, that's the only one would have slowed me down. The law wouldn't have slowed me down. And the effect on the black community and all communities is devastating. And these polices and the government don't have a clue on how to stop it. Because you know why? They're not streetwise. It takes another thug against another thug to stop it. Because they too busy trying to get all the technology and the education about crime, about these individuals, instead of spending time on the field with these individuals, getting practice with these individuals to know how to handle these individuals. It's devastating for the communities. Let's go to the black woman, because I have only 8 minutes left, so I'm trying to rush all this. I'm not saying all the stuff I need to say. I'll probably do a part 3 later on. The black woman from a thug perspective. Terrible. The black woman being a thug out there, have to raise a baby, have to put these kids, raise these kids up, and they looking at their mother thugging. Some of them don't even have mothers to help them anymore because they too busy out there thugging. Now, one thing why, like a couple weeks ago, there was more black young ladies getting killed, and my sight on this, because I have dealt with a lot of black women and in thugging, and I know when you mix gold digging and thugging together, it is the recipient of disaster. When a black woman is gold digging and thugging at the same time, she is asking for more danger for her, not only the kids if she have any, for her. She's putting her life in danger, because gold digging and thugging do not mix. Because when you don't get your way, what you gonna do? Use violence, shoot, boom, boom, boom. Thugging and gold digging together, like some of these women now are not only gold diggers, they also is straight up thugging. Guns in their purses, trying to be this, boom, 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 rap music type bullshit. And that's why you see a lot of them, just as well as the young men dying, women are dying the same way now, because they mix gold digging with thugging. And that is the recipient of disaster. And a thug don't care about kids. When you out there thugging, they put the kid out there to thug with them. So these thug women that's having kids, don't have kids. If you decide you want to go out there and thug, don't have kids. Because if you thugging and having the kid, the kid gonna come right behind you, gonna have a disastrous life. And I ask you, please do not thug with children. But the financial burden on thugs like myself and on drugs, the financial burden from a thug perspective is do what you can for your finances. That's a perspective from a thug that have financial burden. Do what you have to do for your finances, no matter who you have to hurt, who you have to rob. And I'm gonna conclude because my time's running out, but like I said, the police, the government issuing all type of laws and boom, 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 gun restraints. If it don't be a gun, it's gonna be a rock, it's gonna be a knife, it's gonna be something. Guns is not the cause of what's happening with the thugs. They, matter of fact, selling guns to the thugs. The gun didn't walk to them, believe me. Do they want to stop the guns in the black community? That's money, man. That's money like selling dope. You think they want to stop the guns? The gun dealers? How you think World War I was started? World War I was started not because it was just a war. The Federal Reserves needed money, of the world needed money, and the only way back then was to get the money, sell weapons. And the only way you can sell weapons is have wars. You look at this war in Ukraine and Russia. There's merchants trying to sell all kind of weapons for sale. You know what I'm saying? That's how World War I started. So for the purpose of selling weapons. So, do you think they really want to stop this this gun violence? No. It takes another thug to stop the gun violence. He's there on site. Government, polices, they don't have no clue on how to stop it. They have all this technology, all this education. That's not going to stop it. They have no street smarts. The president don't have no street smarts. Another thug do. That's why only another thug can stop this violence in our community. Another thug can find these people who's killing people, because they there every day. I was there with killers every day. You know what I'm saying? I know people who has done a lot of crime, but I ain't gonna mention no names. I can't do that. But I will tell you this: I know a lot of people who killed and who has done crime. I was there and I witnessed a lot of things. And I'm gonna conclude here. My time's running out. I thank you for listening to me. And this is the journal part 2. It's gonna be titled, this is the radical sociologist, Lamar Bennett. I'm back again. And part 3 may talk more about the system, more about the United States and the war in Russia and what it's all about. That might be my part 3. But right now, I hope everybody have a blessed day. And me, I live different now. I love people now. I love God now. And I have a beautiful, beautiful girlfriend now. And I'm happy. I don't have to be out there doing what thugs do anymore. You know, I get out of it cleanly. God bless you. I will see you on the next journey. Part 3 will probably come up next week. Tune back to my channel, subscribe, whatever you want to do. You'll learn something. You will learn from the radical sociologist Lamar Bennett. I love you all, and I cherish you all, and stay blessed. And don't forget, crime don't pay.